All right. Well, hello. Welcome to another live stream. This is a bit of a surprise because I posted about this being the Ronin RS2 with the focus module, and that's what we were going for. And until yesterday, when I went to pick up the Ronin, and the rental house didn't have it. They had the RS2, but they didn't have the focus module. So I was like, oh man, what am I gonna do? And then we had to push that, but we're still live streaming, and I got, how is this gonna work? Oh, this is this. Nope, this is this. I got Blake.
Hey.
And what we are gonna be doing is, I'm very confused. Okay, so I'm operating the switcher this time because I'm gonna be asking Blake all the hard questions.
Very hard hitting. It's gonna be a hard hitting interview.
And we're gonna talk about experimenting with anamorphic for the first time. We're going to talk about anamorphic in film school. Oh, I don't have to switch. I can
you just hit 0 now. Yeah, no. We're good.
Shooting anamorphic in film school and all of that stuff. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I know there's a lot of film students out there who watch this channel and is like, yeah, this is what I want to do for my project. And these are just some of the hurdles that you can run into while you're doing so. So, oh my god.
Oh, we were on me the whole time there.
Yeah, I was talking, and I guess that's it. I think we need a 2-camera, but a 2-person camera.
Yeah.
Or just another person for the switcher.
I can also help try to off right now.
Yeah, you jump into it.
Yeah, talking, and now Tito's gonna talk. All right.
Okay, so okay, I'm watching how many people we have. And yeah, we started a little bit late. It's just the 2 of us on this channel for now, and we're trying to get another editor, but it's just us, and we do this out of our kind hearts. We get barely any money. We just get the membership money and all the super chats that you guys send in. So please help us. It's great, and memberships really help you out because you get early access to a lot of stuff. So let's get started. Let's go to Blake. Boom.
There you go. It's me.
Yeah.
What's up, Tito?
Actually, so when I was thinking about this last night, I was wondering if you go by Blake Chambers or Blake Chambers White or Blake White. And I'm like, I always call you Blake, but I never used your last name. So what's the deal?
So yeah, basically the deal is when I was born, my parents couldn't decide what last name to give me. So Chambers and White are my last name. So it's Chambers-White is my actual name. But for on-set stuff, I just kind of do whatever, like whatever's easiest, honestly. Because Blake Chambers White, hard to fit in sometimes. It's a pretty long name.
Not very true. I have a middle name, and mixing both of your parents' last names is just the thing that you do in other parts of the world. So that's what I have.
Yeah. I mean, I have a middle name too. So
you have a middle name?
Yeah, my middle name is Keat. So it's Blake Keat Chambers White. If that's my full name.
I think we talked about this before.
Maybe, perhaps.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, there we go. We got some film student people here, and we got folks from Russia. All right, lots of people drinking pepper vodka. I got pepper vodka here. It's pretty hardcore, but
I've never heard of pepper vodka. I don't know what that is.
I don't think you're gonna like it.
Okay.
Okay, so
so what this stream's like about in general, right, is so we're gonna talk about, so I guess, so where should I talk about, like how I started getting into film at all, I guess, or what?
Yeah, like how did you get into film, and how much time passed between finishing high school and you going into film?
Yeah.
And how was that experience?
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much it started, I think I was like most people, like, you know, we've talked to like Matt and stuff. Everybody kind of has the same story, I feel like, where it's like you're a kid, it's like, oh yeah, movies, that's cool. I wanna be able to make that's on screen. And so yeah, like I as a kid made a bunch of stuff. Then I got into high school, and my like 2 electives I chose. I had the film class and the programming class. I didn't enjoy a programming class at all. So it's just like, I like computers, and I made games in like elementary school and stuff. But film class is where like could just like do whatever and just make anything. And the teacher was like, yeah, just go make stuff. That's awesome. That's fantastic. And so did a lot of that, and just made more and more videos in high school. And yeah, and so that connects, I guess, with we're talking before stream. It was the end of high school, and I was like, yeah, I want to go to film school, want to do a class or do something. But I didn't know where to apply, and so I was sitting like in a computer lab one day, and my friend was like, you just have to apply somewhere, you got to go. And he was like, yeah, just go to Langara, like you can afford it and stuff.
That's how you landed there?
Yeah, that's how I landed there, because it was just like, okay, you can take the course there. Do you want to be an actor, a writer, or director? And I'm like, I definitely don't want to be a writer or a director. I don't think I can do those things.
You don't want to be a director, or you don't want to be an actor?
I don't want to be an actor, sorry. I got mixed up. Yeah, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to do the director stream, but that starts in January, so I've got tons of time. And so I went and took a traffic control course, which you need to be a PA here.
So you went to work in the actual film industry, like big production stuff, and
yeah, the show I worked on was a TV show called Imposters.
I watched that show.
Oh yeah, I watched it too, and I was like, oh yeah, so like when I was standing out in the street in the rain, like that's what people were actually doing, that were having fun. So yeah. That show's not too bad. Like the first half of the first season is pretty decent. I remember liking pretty much all of it. It's been a long time though. I haven't watched the second season though.
Yeah. It's on Netflix, so
yeah,
if you guys are watching and you want to try out Imposters, Blake was part of that.
I was there on the street,
traffic.
Yeah, telling people, hey, please don't park here.
And getting everyone upset.
Basically. Everybody was really upset with me, telling them not to park there. It's not a fun time.
Amazing.
But yeah, I got a taste at least for like how logistical film can be. And that it's it's not always this creative mechanism. There is this kind of it's not very artistic. It's just like we need to get there to be able to have the people who are doing kind of the artistic side do their kind of thing.
So you'd say that there's a lot of people that the jobs are technical and logistics of like making sure the creative people can go and do their jobs.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a producer in a certain way. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, like there's definitely an element of it that is just like we need to be able to have this location, and then everybody's going to come in. So like it's not fun doing that, but it is necessary. Yeah,
because I think it's very like glamorized. The role of a PA is like, oh, you're helping make these great films, when most of the times you're not even that close to what's actually happening.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I don't think PAs are that glamorized. I don't know. Often when you hear about PAs, it's like people getting coffee, but I don't think I ever once got coffee for someone as a PA. I was not prepared for how much just like you're standing, waiting for something to happen.
I don't think you can be prepared for standing for God knows 15 hours.
Yeah. My leg. That was one of the big things. Is I was also like kind of new to driving at the time, and I have a manual transmission car. So coming home some nights would be really hard to operate the clutch, because I just hadn't built up the leg strength. Doing any of that.
Oh man, that's hardcore.
Yeah, I remember. One morning being bumper to bumper and just going. Oh, it was terrible.
Oh. I'm gonna see what people are saying here.
Let's check out the comments.
Let's see what you guys are saying. If I'm going to pick on Mr. Potato, I already talked about everything. So that's BMP CC 4K Tech. I already said everything that I had about Potato Jet, and that's our video. I think he did a great thing by showing those lenses, but everything I have is in that video, so no. Hello from Minnesota. Hello, Minnesota. Greetings from Germany. Blake, you
Hey.
you talk to Germany.
I don't know any
You
German.
don't know any German? Well, maybe
only,
France then.
Bonjour.
All right. We have Mason Kant McCleary. I've been experimenting with the Anamorphic 2X with single focus mounted onto a 16mm C-mount 18 mil f1.2 vintage Ingenieur, then mounted on a 4K speed booster and 2x extender. Wow, I want to see a photo of that. I'm really, really curious. I'm glad the channel's helping out. Greetings from Belgium. Hello. I'm glad to have you guys here. Say you didn't like programming, computer science, teach here. Well, we can always use some help in programming. I also went for computer science right out of high school, and I bailed after a semester.
Yeah, I want to say, I think it was, this confluence of teaching style and also me being a teenager kind of coming together. I really wish I had learned more computer programming, because I actually really like the kind of problem solving that computer programming offers.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we talk about is you bringing like some computer solution that involves just above programming. It's like, oh yeah, I did this workaround that is not the most straightforward thing, but it also avoids programming.
Yeah, no, like I do really enjoy that kind of problem solving, and I think like film has a lot of that kind of problem solving too, and doing like editing, where it's like just got to rearrange these things, put them in a different order, and yes, and like especially like being able to walk away from a problem and then be thinking about it, and you like have this eureka moment is super awesome. So I wish I had done more programming.
Yeah, Blake's editing all of the cookbook stuff, so that's, if you're a member of the channel, you're getting a ton of that. If you're not a member, you got some of it already, and he's the driving force behind all the editing that's going on there. Yay, punch the mic.
Punch the mic, yeah. So should we, I guess that kind of takes us to, so I did that for like a number of months, doing the PA stuff until school started.
So you already knew that you were going to Langara. That was a thing that I learned just this morning, is that you knew you were going to Langara before you actually started working in film. I was already at Langara before I knew I was going into the film program. And it was also the same things, like, oh, this is short. This seems pretty dope. There's people in the industry. Let's see what this is about. And so we landed in the same class. Yeah.
So that's how we met. And yeah, I don't know.
This is how it started.
It was, I had never taken anything else at Langara before. And that was my only like college experience, that class. So yeah, I don't know. I wanted to DP stuff. So we like directed, we did like our first term stuff. I didn't shoot anything because I
didn't shoot anything.
Yeah, I didn't shoot anything.
Why? How did this happen?
Basically because I didn't get picked. Nobody picked me to be their DP for anything. I didn't like make enough like, hey, I want to DP stuff noise.
Dude, this sucks.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I think we
we talked about this before, I'm sure, but I didn't know that at the time.
Yes, yeah, you didn't know that at the time. Yeah, that's very true. And yeah, it was kind of a bummer, but then on the second term, I got to shoot Lincoln, and so that was pretty cool. And over, the course, I got to know you a bit more, and everybody kind of knew, like, you were the anamorphic guy. Like, Tito's got a channel about anamorphic lenses. Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, so on that, yesterday when I was going to try and pick up the RS2, I got in the elevator to the rental house, another guy came in, and then I got in on the corner, the guy was on the other corner, it's like, And I'm thinking, here we go. He's gonna say it. And he's like, hey man, you have an anamorphic channel, right? I'm like, yeah, we're going to the same place.
Yeah.
So yeah, at Langara it wasn't that big of a deal, but I guess I did talk a lot about it.
I don't know if it was you talking a lot about it. I think I remember one of the other students, Toby, talking about it, and I think maybe that's how I learned about it. I don't know.
Maybe.
And so yeah.
So you wanted to shoot Lincoln and Anamorphic. That was your second semester DP project. And it's kind of a Western, it has a Western vibe to me, and it's like a robbery kind of thing. We're gonna pull some clips in a little bit.
Yeah, it was, but before we get into actual Lincoln, it was, I guess, I don't know, sorry, I lost my train of thought here.
Okay, so about the hurdles of film school, the one thing I remember the most, because I shot Anamorphic on the first semester as well, and I used the giant Lomo lens, and it was so hard to convince the instructors that it was like, no, this is weird, but I know what I'm doing. So there was a lot of like convincing people and explaining to instructors. It's kind of funny when you're like explaining to people that are much older and that have been in the industry before that you're gonna try something different that they don't cover at school, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna mess this up.
Definitely. Like the subject of gear was pretty tough at Langara, where it was like, you have to use this stuff. Don't worry about anything else. They had lights that were like hidden and we didn't know about. And then I like for the project I directed the first term, I was like I needed more light for it to make some stuff work. And so I just took like the 3 lights that we had and put them all in one position. And it was like, okay, we need the light output here. Like this is the only way to make this shot work. But we had all this other stuff that you pulled out and used for those projects. I had to convince people of just like, is this all we have? And they're like, no, we actually have these very, very old lights. I don't know if they're broken or not. I'm like, can we look? I really want to use different stuff. So we did that a lot, and I think that actually encouraged the school to give a little more freedom to the students. Definitely. Like, I mean, I don't know, I feel like you going out and getting that stuff, making that like, we can do this, like I think so much more interesting, and especially like doing the stuff with the anamorphic as well. And I think you let people use some of your lenses too.
I think so.
Like maybe Katie Kane.
Yeah, Katie Kane, because I was DPing that.
Oh, okay,
we were both on that one.
Maybe
Hinata got some lenses. I don't know, but after school, like a lot of people have used my gear, and I feel like in the following years, it just got easier for the students to use different gear. Like they still have restrictions where you can only use the school's cameras and you can't rent this and that. And I don't know, I think it's, I don't agree with it.
I know their philosophy is they want it to be less gear focused and more like storytelling focused, but it's like kind of a little bit of a bummer sometimes. Also, to give context, you work at Langara, for anybody who doesn't know. Tio works at Langara, and also his sister went to get Langara like years after.
Just last year. A lot of the stuff that we showed in lens tests recently is just my sister's projects that she's directing or DPing, and I'm there. I'm like, hey, do you guys want some behind the scenes? And they're like, sure. So I've been in close contact with the school and the film department pretty much since I got in or before.
Close, but also socially distanced. Okay.
Very good point.
But I guess we should go return back to Lincoln.
Lincoln and Anamorphic.
So I mean, I had always kind of heard about Anamorphic and wanted to shoot it, but I mean, much like Matt talked about recently, it's kind of this thing that's like
it's out there. It's hard to find.
It's hard to get. It's not as simple, or at least in like, it's not as easy as like you just pick up the lens and you just put it on. I mean, some lenses like the series that we're using today are kind of like that, but it wasn't accessible.
No, and it's what, 3 years now? 4 years? 4 years?
It's 4 years now. Yeah,
It's been
because
a
it was
while.
we started in January 2017. So yeah, I wanted to be able to shoot it on that to because I would think I was like, this is gonna help with like the organic kind of Western look that we're going for. As well as I guess we can show some clips here while we're
let me just catch up on what people are saying, because I'll punch the mic again.
I guess I can, will you read that? I can say we were looking for this sort of organic look, but also I kind of just wanted an excuse to shoot anamorphic, to be honest.
That's true for everyone.
Because I just had never had the opportunity to before, and just like that awesome vibe. So
try it on. We got someone, Kidu's watching from Ethiopia. That's super cool. We have BV Donut who's a British guy in Canada. Thanks for joining. Maybe I ran into you yesterday in the elevator. Wizard saying that a poet needs a pen, a painter needs a brush, and a director needs an army. Which is very true, especially when you scale up productions. Vani saying our setup is beautiful. It looks like a movie about a high school guy and his friend having a conversation in his room after high school about some project that's due next week. Well, not due next week. It was due right now. So we're just doing the project as we go.
Yeah, we are currently handing the project in right now. So.
Alex is asking, how do you feel about the new FX3? I have not seen anything about it. I've been in the dark. Last week was a lot of work. This week is just putting out cookbook stuff.
Is the FX3 like it's like the A7 III, but like in a different... I saw the Gerald Undone video.
I think it's the Sony Cinema camera. It's like the FX3 is in the F5. I don't even know.
Okay.
I'm very ill-informed. Hold up. Who did this? Who's this person? Hey, Alpha Tay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Punch Repair Fund. Thank you so much.
Yeah. The capture card repair fund has actually worked. We have 2 capture cards now.
Yeah, so we have 2 capture cards.
For each side.
Yeah, Blake brought a second one. We might just build a hub of capture cards and rehouse all of them together. There's an odd jitter on cam 1 on the top. That's my capture card, which was more expensive, so I'm more upset about it.
Woo! Oh.
That's a water.
Yeah, spilling water over here.
Mason saying your insight helped me avoid some expensive mistakes. Thank you, great channel. Thank you. I'm glad I helped you save money. I'll be happy to message you on Facebook and show you a picture of the rig. Super wide, super sharp 2 times. Hi from Australia. Yes, please send me photos. If you want to invest some of that money that you saved, consider becoming a member of the channel. That's also a great help for us, and you're going to get extra videos, extra content, more access, a lot of cool, more useful information, and save more money. So there's my pitch. Another person pointing at the top bar moving. And we got Finley Lane McElroy saying, just bought my first scope for my last project at film school. So here we are, being timely about our conversation. I wasn't taught about anamorphics when I was in film school. Many years later, I learned the differences, in part thanks to you. Aw, thank you.
Yeah, so the same is true for me. Whereas we didn't learn about anamorphics. It was if I hadn't been lucky enough to have you in my year, Tito.
Blake, you're too kind.
Then I wouldn't have learned about it. So thank you.
I'm gonna start blushing now. So how wide do you think the Sirui 24mm can get with the wide angle adapter mounted on the front, shooting uncropped? This is going to be covered in a future video. I already shot most of it. It's pretty wild. It's wide enough that I don't think you need a wider lens. Alright, GH5, I'm missing out this conversation here, but I trust you guys know what you're talking about. And this is how a podcast is supposed to look. Oh man, we're definitely doing this right.
Excellent. I'd love to hear that.
And Mayoran Kumar is saying, how do you edit the anamorphic footage to look like in the cinema? It kind of does. The cookbook stuff is all in anamorphic, and it looks pretty great. So if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. All right. Hello from Chile. Hello. And Cameron finally installed the 24mm insert, and I'm glad you did it. Okay, so we caught up with all the questions. Thanks again for Afote for the punch thing, and we're gonna go jump into Lincoln, which is Blake's first scope project, and we're gonna talk about some of the things that we experienced dealing with it. If I stop punching the mic.
Yeah, and if Premiere responds, you know. So yeah, we shot Lincoln.
That's wild. The dust shot.
Yeah.
When I saw that shot in the early screenings, I was like, oh, I hope they put something in front of the lens.
Yeah, I don't know if we did.
I don't have that lens anymore. So.
Wait, is this
stuff looks so good to me. This is looks way more than the budget that you had for this film. I'm like, this is so legit. Like, the sun is clipping hardcore in the back, but there's a glow that is very natural, and the car is definitely moving. So I love this.
Really? Okay,
I feel the car is definitely moving.
So this is the car stopped. Me just holding the camera and shaking it, like bouncing it on my knee, and I'm pretty sure the back is actually like a silk or something.
No, wait, which mouse is that? It's this one.
Oh, okay.
No way. I've been lied to my whole life.
Yeah, and then just the editing that Max did carries it all the way through, I think.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember if this is the actual sun. Maybe it is the sun. Again,
this
was
is coming
3.5 years
from the front, because there's a highlight on her that is either a direct reflection or is the sun coming through the back.
I think it's probably a reflection off of the right side, like the passenger side mirror. But I'm not sure. But yeah, I do remember being there, and trying to get someone to put a C-stand with a silk up and perfectly catch the sun. And they were like, "Oh, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work." I'm like, "No, just go like an inch more, an inch more."
This brings me up and away vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm gonna join ourselves in this so I can follow the conversation on the phone.
Oh, okay, makes sense. Good. So yeah.
Yeah, so this is Lincoln. This is let's just keep it randomly playing, and I don't remember exactly what you asked for in terms of lenses. If you're like, just give me the simplest one, or if I'm like, you know what, I don't want to kill this guy. I just want to give him the best, simplest tool. So I gave you the Iskurama. It was the rehoused one, not this one.
Yeah, not that one. Yeah, we could probably show that a bit more actually. Or
not
just
this one. This is the one from Max, and it's the same glass.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was the. I don't think I asked for anything specific.
Just give me anamorphic, please.
Yeah, I wanted to shoot it anamorphic, and actually I was like, this is gonna enhance the project because it was going for it needs to feel kind of Western, it needs to feel organic. And this was like, okay, this is how we can help do that.
Good choice.
But I didn't know what lens to pick. I didn't know anything about adapters really. At the time I didn't I watched some of your stuff, but I didn't dive.
Yeah, it wasn't very onboarding, the stuff that I was making at that time. It was just lens reviews. If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, well, too bad. Did you have multiple taking lenses, or did you just have the one?
So what we used in most of it was the Iskurama and then the Galios 44. But we used, I think, a bunch. I think you gave me a bunch of different taking lenses. all with the iskorama in front.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like, okay, here you go. And you sent me a video on Facebook of you hiding it in some drawers in one of the rooms at Langara. And it's like, okay, go in. The lenses are in there.
Oh,
and
yeah. I don't remember that.
I went in and I picked them up and I was like, okay. I mean, I was looking at the Galios and I was like, this is what is this? This is bizarre. Why is it silver? Like, who makes silver lenses? That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And so I went down into the gear room and I started like messing with it. And you were like, okay, just put the lens in the back, which is the taking lens, which I had no idea what that meant at the time. I was like, okay, the one in the back. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. And I put that to infinity, and I was just testing, focusing in the room. And it was kind of weird, like a weird experience at first.
I'm glad you did test it though, because I've not tested things before. Just went on the shoot and like, this is gonna work out great, and then didn't.
Yeah, I don't think the test actually inspired that much confidence, though.
Oh no, the testing is for figuring out what's gonna go wrong. Like, all the tests are horrible, and then on the day you're like, I know all these problems.
I think my testing was honestly pretty limited. Like, I put it on. I didn't have a person to actually test it on.
That's more hardcore.
So I was just like focusing on like chairs in the room and stuff, and that's when I had discovered like that you can actually change the focus on the taking lens. And I was like, wait, maybe Tito's wrong about this. Like, I mean, does he really know that much about this stuff?
Maybe not.
And messing with it, and I was like, okay, wait, like there is kind of, I mean, I'll just do what he did. This is way too hard to adjust both of them at the same time. Nobody's going to do that.
Yeah.
People apparently actually did that.
Yeah.
Actually, as we talk about in the cookbook.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I did a bunch of testing like that, and it was like, okay, this will be, I don't know, we'll figure it out. And we did some more testing, but we didn't have the actual lenses at that point. I think I'd given them back to you or whatever. And then it just was the shoot day, and
you went for it.
Yeah. And we had shot a bunch of stuff together. I don't know if we actually shot anything anamorphic together in school. Like, I don't know if I was
not before. We shot Up and Away later.
Yeah.
But you were lighting.
Yeah.
But Lincoln, you were just like, woo!
Yeah. So I think it was just like I basically didn't have any experience with it.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, here we go. And
Good.
I had the practice of doing the lighting with you, which I think helped develop the lighting a lot. So
because I think the lighting in Lincoln is pretty great.
I
scrubbing through and I'm like, wow, this movie looks pretty good.
Here we'll show some of it if it. We're kind of lagging out on the video capture here, but that's okay. This is actually, I think,
maybe we just play it. Yeah, hold on.
This is like my favorite shot here. Actually, I think this one just in the car. And Miles had sent me a bunch of reference stuff. He wanted the black levels really raised for the movie, which I was like, I don't know. Kind of looking at it now, I kind of wish we went more contrasty. But for this one, I think it really works.
Yeah, this is a great shot. After you told me that other one is a silk, I'm like, is this like even real? Is this the sun? I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Yeah, I think this is like really. I think this is very like authentic. I don't think we had to do anything to this to make it work, but definitely doing the stuff with you, like Katie Kane, because Katie Kane was insane.
Yeah, Katie Kane, we went full overload. We used literally every light that was available. We talked to the production of the other film that was shooting that weekend, and they were like, yeah, we just need these lights. And then you and I went into the room and we grabbed everything else and we put it on the studio. Yeah,
that one was pretty insane. I remember the teachers coming in and being pissed off with us. And they were like, what are you doing? You can't have this set up like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna...
Yeah. And I was like, well, I remember the biggest complaint was like, you can't put this light on a C-stand because you need to use light stands for this. And I was like, we don't have enough, so I'm doing the best I can. And one of the funniest things I remember from that is, Blake, there's like 15 lights in this room. We kind of need to switch between the mid shot. rig dimmers there and figure it out. Go.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment was when we were doing there in the show. There is like an interviewer like news segment.
Oh yeah.
And we had set up this lighting setup, and it was like all good. All the characters look good. And then you were like, okay, we gotta tear everything down and turn around. We gotta put up the green screen. I was like, Tito, stop it. We just put the green screen up right here, and we're already done.
Yes.
And we did that, and it was like, okay.
Yes. So much time saved. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was a very proud moment for me.
That kind of summarizes one of the best things of working with you, though. It's like, I come up with a stupid idea. I'm like, this is going to take 1,000,000 years. And they're like, actually, no. Just look at it from this other point.
Yeah, no, that's very very satisfying to, approach a problem from a different thing. And I think you've done the same for me as well. I'm sure it's happened. But yeah.
Okay, Lincoln.
Going back to Lincoln. Yeah, so we shot a bunch of it. So the thing about like the scopes is, so I'm trying to find a specific shot here. I think it's this one. This is where we had realized, I don't know, I guess you can kind of see it. Can you?
Yeah, if you look at the door, the line on the door.
This is where the director started complaining to me. It was like, you gotta fix this. And this is, I think it was probably always slightly misaligned for the so we shot this on the last day. And so but the 2 previous days was like all the stuff in like the car driving around on the streets and the school later on in the movie. So we didn't have any like sharp lines to compare it to. We did have the monitor de-squeeze. Also, okay, so we'll talk about the squeeze factor later, but so this is when I called you and I was like, how do I fix this? So it turns out, so I'll use this example.
Yeah, go for it.
So this is like been rehoused, right? You would call this oh yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. This has been like rehoused again, right?
Yeah.
So the previous design was a screw. So it would like pivot around this point on the bottom here. I don't know how to show this on camera. This is hard. So the way like you would adjust the tilt, if you tightened it too much, it would misalign it again. And I would be like I wanted to keep it on because I was like, I don't want to break Tito's lens. I need to have this really secure. So I was like wrenching it on, and every time I would get it aligned and then I would tighten it, it would move it back out. And I was just like, well, I think we just have to accept this as the anamorphic character, and just move on, just keep rolling.
Roll with it.
And later I looked at your tutorial on fixing it in post.
Yeah, that's the thing that we mentioned in the potato jet video, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where we kind of.
But you can't really see it a lot on the straight lines. For the door, you can see it, but when we were looking at the characters in the other shots, you really can't see it. It's small enough that you can't.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it becomes more prominent later, funnily enough. I'm actually trying to find that. So one thing that we realized too is, so when I had the camera on, trying to find the camera and talk at the same time. It's tough.
Yeah.
One thing. I didn't know the squeeze factor when I was shooting with it. I had the small HD like 702, and I was just like, okay, squeeze factor, we'll just try them and see what looks right. And so what looked the best to me was 1.33.
Yeah.
And then when you got it, you were like,
yeah. So I got the lens, and I told Blake, hey, so the squeeze for this lens is 1.5. And this is an iskorama that we're talking about. So
yeah,
we were both wrong.
Yeah, we were both wrong by roughly the same amount.
Yeah, we were both equally wrong in opposite directions.
Yeah, so I was like, this is too much squeeze, and you're like, no, it's too little.
Yeah.
And now we know because of the course that
it's actually right in the middle. So the iskorama is 1.42, and my computer is going to die for some reason.
Oh no, that's really bad.
Because I pulled it out of the thing. This thing sucks, and it's back. Okay, we're back. I just had to run for a second there. Yeah, so alignment issues and squeeze issues. The squeeze issue is also that happened in Up and Up is also something that happened in Up and Away, or pretty much anything I shot with this camera before.
Yeah. But yeah,
I kind of see it now by looking at the film and just knowing that it's wrong. I can see it, but at the time I was like, yeah, this looks decent. Like, I think confirmation bias is a pain. If you want to see something, you will see it.
Yeah, like that is true. That is true. I do remember at the time being like, this isn't right, but Tito says this is the spec, so I'm just gonna go with it, and I didn't think about it too much after that.
Yeah.
But I think in these shots here, you can kind of see how it's either like I just wasn't level on the day.
Yeah, like the misalignment looks more like not leveled than skewed. If you really look at it now, I can see like it kind of needs to do that. It's funny because I'm gesturing and no one knows what I'm pointing to, but if you're looking at the picture, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm hitting we have two keyboards here, so it's a little bit funky.
It's very confusing. Blake's also being interviewed and doing the switching. We're kind of sharing the switching, but Blake's doing most of it.
Yeah, and this is another shot I really like, how we just got all this depth. What we actually do here, and I guess we can look at some of these stills as well.
Oh yeah, let's pull the stills.
Later on. They're on here, I guess. Do you want to do that?
They are on here.
Should I?
Wait. So I'm looking at you. No.
I'm looking at you now.
Okay. Fine.
But
photos.
What we did was we had this big window in front of the pizza shop that they're in, and we blacked it out to get the contrast in the room to look good. Here's a shot of it.
Why is it showing the wrong one? Okay, here we go.
And so yeah, you can see kind of in the back there. Oh, this is the wrong mouse.
No,
is it?
This is the right mouse.
Oh, okay. Just really slow. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. So yeah, we had to black out the back there, and you can see me. That's the old rehousing of the Iskarama at the bottom there. I don't know.
Is this Control Plus? Yeah, Control Plus. What I love the most about this photo is this little tie thing, so the lens doesn't move.
I think that must have been there to like just in case it falls or something.
Yeah, I figured that was it, but I love it.
I totally forgot that, to be honest. And you can also see, I don't know, like I always find it funny looking at the Blackmagic camera there and how like it has the EF mount, even though it has like an MFT sensor or whatever.
Yeah.
There's me holding the camera and stuff.
Okay, so you were saying that blacked out the windows.
Yeah, we had to black out the windows, and if we go back to like Premiere, like that's what helped us get this contrast. And we were totally lucked out with the background and the door being like that. We just got there and it was like that. I was like, okay, sick, this is great,
this is the time.
We had gone there one time to scout out the location, but we really didn't get that much.
This looks like a tiny shop.
It is tiny. Yeah
it's amazing that you were shooting with like a 58mm on a crop sensor.
That's
and the shots don't look like super tight.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised by too, and why. So it's also, I had this misconception about Anamorphic, where I didn't realize I was actually getting a wider field of view. I thought it was like going to be basically the same field of view, but like I think I thought it was like the normal image, but it's stretching it out vertically and not giving you a bigger area on the same area. So when it all worked with the 50, I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, this is awesome, amazing. And I think that's totally what let us get this kind of shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. So this is just more shots of us doing it here, and me trying
like the light, just the perfect time.
Yeah, we really got lucky with like a lot of the weather too, and it being sunny. It was the middle of summer, so it was pretty good. And you can see I'm like always wearing like a lot of clothing actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to avoid getting a sunburn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were wearing a hat.
Yeah, I think
some of this I'm like, I don't know why you stopped it. That hat is amazing.
I think I lost that hat.
Man.
And we had the small HD, and I loved that thing. I loved being able to like, it felt like I was watching the movie.
Yeah.
Versus we had these really bad cameras before, or really bad monitors before.
Yeah, because having the proper monitor on set is great. Like having it de-squeezed to the right number makes a huge difference in how you're framing and how you're moving it around. So good job feeding me. You were doing it wrong because you thought the squeeze was less, and I was doing it wrong because it was more. And you were also dealing with misalignment. Imagine if on top of all that, you still had the squeezed image to deal with the entire time.
Yeah. No, it was. Oh my God, Finnegan's in the background. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
So to the person that was asking if I have cats, that's the cat.
Yeah, there you go.
It's Finnegan.
Yeah, what helped a lot too was having the in-monitor LUT.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing for seeing the color and being able to, even though you're not supposed to, but like kind of exposing for eye, and just being able to see what like an approximation of the final like contrast is going to be like was incredibly helpful. And so that monitor was awesome. I'm super glad that I convinced people to do that.
Yeah, we were also talking earlier about people's reactions to like seeing stuff on set and being like, "Whoa, how was that?"
To like seeing the anamorphic,
seeing the footage or like how the pictures were coming out and.
Yeah. So people at the end were like, were really. They were like, "Wow, it looks so good," and that was really satisfying to hear. But they didn't say it looks so good. I think people said more, "Whoa, those lenses look so good."
That's a thing, though. Like, I've shot plenty of crappy stuff on whatever gear you can think of, and anyone can shoot bad-looking footage. It's not about the lenses; it's about the person using them.
Yeah, I totally agree. And at the time, I wanted to say like, well, I think I did some work here too, but I didn't want to do that. But Renata, one of the other students, she was like, well, Blake did some stuff here, and so that was really awesome.
Yeah, it's good when people know that it's not the gear that's making the movie. Otherwise, just like put some cameras there, press record, and walk away.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go.
No. I think one of the things that made me most happy with this project was hearing like one of the writers, like the writing teacher, say that I was able to capture the feeling. Like the look was how he imagined it when they were like working on the script all together, and that was really satisfying.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best looking film out of the class. This is the one that blends the best. I think the story works well with the looks, more than the stuff that I was trying to do. Like I went full looks and I failed the story.
I don't think you failed the story. I think For what film are you talking about? Like the stuff you DP'd
or Up and Away?
Up and Away. I don't think you failed in the story. I think Up and Away has probably one of the I don't know, like the story. What's interesting about this movie too is the story changed a lot in post production. Like the original.
Look at this close up. No, you must have had diopters. You can't do this without diopters.
Oh yeah, that was another thing too. Actually, is that. It must have been a diopter. Yeah, I don't know. I do remember shooting. Like both of the actors knew, like about all the stuff at the, like they could run the whole scene of like the in the pizza shop, and Miles was just like, okay, just get this angle.
Miles, the director.
The director, yeah. The director is just like, get this angle, and we'll just like. Go from there. And we started rolling, and then the first thing I do is I started like going up and down and focusing close and focusing far, and that one shot became many shots, and he was like, okay, cut, and he was like, yeah, I guess we got a lot more there than I thought we were gonna get. And I was like, okay, this is good, right? Like this is
a good thing, right?
Yeah. So
this is not a complaint.
Yeah. And I don't know, something about like how this focused on the day. Everything just worked. It was like muscle memory kicked in, especially with the Helios, or the Gallios. It was just like, this is the most natural focusing experience I've ever had.
Yeah. And
I don't think there's been anything better than it since.
Well,
so
that's super nice. That's super, super cool.
Yeah.
It's good when the gear doesn't get in the way.
Yeah, totally. And it made it easier. I feel like it was easier to focus on that than a spherical lens, in a weird way.
Well, that's the first. That's the first and probably only time I'll ever hear that.
I don't know, just something about like how everything. Maybe it was even that the mechanics were a little bit tight, so you had to really kind of give it a little bit to turn. It really just made it all smooth.
Nice.
So one thing I really wish I could have worked on was the color for this. The color for this scene totally doesn't match.
It doesn't match. I was looking at the photos from this set. Let's see if I can find them. Punch the mic once more. Just skip through. Is this casting? It is.
Yeah, that's casting. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just like a corner in a room.
Yeah. With
some blinds hanging, and like, wow, it looks way better than the location is. So that's something.
Yeah, but
you can definitely see the glow from the Gallios and the Iskroma with the bright wall the light there.
I think it could have been fixed with some better color grading, but I think I did this in Premiere.
I think you might have done this in Final Cut Pro.
No, I remember because I did it. I broke the rules. I broke the rules. I did it in Premiere at home. And I don't know. I think I could have done a better job for sure. But
we were always on a very too tight schedule for this stuff. So, hardcore. I'm gonna just see what people are saying.
Yeah, we totally go to see what people are doing.
Pitch being considered. Okay. So Mason is considering my pitch for joining the channel. I haven't seen an update yet, so I guess I failed. I'm sad. Christian, I'm glad you didn't miss us. We are running a little over because we started late. And Afate is talking about the 16:9 ink brand for wide angle adapter on the Sure with great results. I'm going wider than that. DRXC Phonic is asking what lenses are on our cameras, and we're using Sure lenses right now. That's the 50, and this is the 35.
There we go.
This is the 35. Hello, this is my hand. Hello, Gabriel or Gabriel. All right. Hello. Everybody says hello. The quality anamorphic scope stuff we lately get is completely through the roof, though. Oh, thank you. The cookbook, all he scores, and it's going. Where's the two-shot? We don't have a two-shot. I know. We were talking about it earlier. We probably could have done it with a phone. And this is a great question. Kostya Brina is saying, I hope I said that right. What was your most notable experience in film school? Or your worst production hell? And Matt Brown is saying, wish you would sync your sound, makes this unwatchable. Well, sad to see you go. We have too many inputs, and I don't know, we don't get paid for this, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we can fix that, other than, I don't know, faster inputs. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe doing it through the cameras, but the delay is going to be different for each camera, right?
If we only have one input, but I don't know. If enough people sign up, or if we got enough money to buy an ATEM. Anyway, moving on. What was your most notable experience or your worst experience?
I don't know. I mean, definitely most notable, I think, was actually on your movie filming the tent city and stuff. That was
pretty wild.
That was pretty crazy. Doing that that one day with the reflector. The reflector dish where we had these gold reflectors and we were trying to get them back into the shot, and we were losing light. And then just like, oh no, we're not gonna make it. We'll just bring out a light. We'll try to figure something out. And then I'm just like, no. And then boom, we were able to get the last shot.
Yeah, it was really the last shot with the last rays of sun in that day on our outside sequence, and it was just like when we got the performance right, we were like, yeah, it's just gonna go. We can't do it. And Blake's running all the way, like way too far, and like, I can do this. And it was the same day that we shot this protest stuff, which you were running with a flare as a masked man and straight into a wire. Like,
Yeah.
made a line on your face.
Yeah, there was a low-hanging wire that I just
Felt so bad, man.
thing is, I feel bad about it too, because I was like, someone's gonna hit this, and then I was the person who hit it. So
yeah,
I don't know what I can say about that. But I mean, it looks cool. I don't think I'm really that much in the final product.
You are enough that I boosted the lens flare that your flare was making.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I gotta add a lens flare here because this lens, we spent a lot of money on this sequence. We gotta make it look amazing.
Yeah, yeah. No, it does look super cool. I think it probably has the most production value out of all the films. Like, it's got them a lot going on.
Yeah, this is where people get like, oh, how did you shoot this? And I'm like, this was in film school, and then they get really confused. It's like, how? More than half the budget. Yeah.
No, that was a pretty crazy day, and just it's impressive how much stuff we got out there. Like, when we go to that same location, it's pretty crazy to think that was all dominated by us.
All there, yeah.
And it was literally like a trash zone before, like part of it, like the hallway.
Yeah, it's literally a trash. It's just like, here's all the garbage from the school. I'm like, I want to shoot here.
Yeah.
But from Lincoln, what were some moments as you were shooting? They were like, "Oh, this is exactly what I want." You mentioned the gunshot, haha, puns galore. What other stuff in Lincoln? You're like, this is exactly what I wanted.
I think like the stuff inside the pizza shop was really satisfying. Like, again, talking about like the focus and how everything was just landing, was like super satisfying. I think I'm pretty happy with how like the light looks in there. I like to do a lot of like Dutch shots, actually. Like, whenever I do handheld, I usually end up turning the camera, and it's not really a conscious thing.
Yeah,
it just kind of something. It's like, this shot works better if I do this, and like it's not like to make you notice that it's Dutch. It's like the shot just kind of works a little bit better. And so I really enjoyed that I got to do that, and that was another moment with Miles too, where he was just like, I mean, normally I don't like that, but this time it works. So it was very satisfying to have that go on. So, and yeah, it was just like really fun to shoot that.
Yeah, I was not on that set, so I think it was the one set that I missed that I was like, oh man, I wish I was there. This seems like a lot of fun. Everything about that film seemed like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, and I'm really glad we had, like all the people there who were helping me to do that. Everybody was pretty like awesome about just like, okay, I want you to do that and that, and everyone was just like, okay, yeah. And so that was pretty awesome of everybody. So
the supportive team makes a hell of a difference, even in film school. I would say especially in film school, because no one's getting paid. Yeah. So it's like, I got to do this job.
Yeah, everybody was just there doing the best, and it was great. Yeah, it was great. We did a lighting gag at the end too, where it had two people like panning these lights back on and off to simulate the police. And I thought we had a red gel, but it turns out we didn't, so we ended up using like binder.
Oh, there's a photo of that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's a photo of that. I saw Hinata holding it in front of the light. I'm like, wow, hardcore. We did not have red gels at the time.
I think I know the photo because Renata looks very like sad.
She's very sad, very concerned. It's in this area here. There she is.
There it is. And she's just yeah. Yeah. So that was that shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also some stuff too where there's an intro and outro sequence to the movie. And I had your variable ND, and because the front rotates, you can see the color change. And I was at the start, I was like, okay, I can try to like compensate and then keyframe. And then after a while, I was just like, nah, I'm not.
I was just shooting a test to illustrate that concept for a video.
Yeah, not...
Like, rotating fronts are not fun.
I don't want to... I can't keyframe that. I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was... yeah, like, I don't know. I'm also pretty happy with, like, this sequence here. Oh, think it's maybe before this.
Yeah, so the thing that we're gonna try to is we're gonna talk to Miles, who's the director, and see if we can get clearance to share this entire film. If it's not that huge of a deal, I would say we can consider fixing some of the de-skewing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if
Right.
sure. Yeah, you can mess with it.
Yeah. But I think it would be cool to have it there.
Yeah, I think that would be super neat. Yeah, we can talk to Miles and the other producers.
Yeah. See how it goes.
Yeah, maybe you can help me fix the color between these two scenes. I don't know.
Yeah, we can give it a shot. So you were saying that some of the last sequence, the final sequence? No, you were talking about a sequence that you liked.
Yeah, I think just I don't know, like just the interior, like the interior being inside the pizza shop, I think was really really awesome. And
I think blocking the light, putting like the giant wrap. How do you call that thing?
The blacking.
The blacking of the front of it is brilliant because I don't know. I don't think I did that. Did we do that? It's film school, so a lot of people just think that you can add light to a scene, but not a lot of people think you can remove light from a scene.
Yeah, I don't know. That was for me. That was pretty intuitive. At least for that pizza shop, I was just like, that's the first thing we got to do because it was too bright in there. And then also once we got in the pizza shop, we turned off all the lights. And so all the lighting in there is light spilling in from like the back door outside inwards. And that helped create a ton of depth in that one shot there. And then there was like a little bit of the door that was left not blackened, and that was enough to fill in the faces, and it all just kind of worked.
Yeah, it works really well, really, really well in that pizza shop. So after that, like, you had lots of insight with lighting. When I was DPing, you were in lighting for everything.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Yeah. That was great. Couldn't have done it. And then you went into lighting.
Yeah, so because of you, basically, I ended up getting, it was like, I think actually it wasn't a free job. It was actually like $200 for like 2 days or something. Because that's all I could afford. It was a movie called The Whistler.
That was my first paid job after school as well.
Oh, okay. And yeah, we shot that like over 2 days, I think. And yeah, I actually remember one day we stayed like a couple hours later, I think, and some of the people were pretty pissed off.
They were.
But yeah, it was super cool for me because that was like awesome to do some like lighting with that, like I don't know, like another paid thing. We also did that thing with Kelly during school.
Oh,
during
yeah,
the school
during
break.
School we did multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing, hey? That movie went far.
Yeah. I actually don't know how far it ended up going.
It went to a bunch of festivals. It got a handful of awards. Like jury's vote, and a lot of like decent things happened and positive criticism, and it's just like, it's one of my favorite things that I ever shot is that film.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I remember we shot that on the A7S too.
Yeah.
And I remember trying to do light for that and having to deal with like the tiniest lights would destroy the scene. Yeah. Because we were just shooting at such high ISO. It was crazy. Yeah. But going back to the story of The Whistler, that's how I ended up doing a bunch of Hallmark stuff, and that's how I did like a bunch of professional lighting and how I learned a bunch more doing that. But yeah, and eventually that became just like too much for me, and it was like just too much work, too much stress all the time.
Don't like it.
Yeah, so
don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, so don't burn out, guys. Take breaks.
Yeah, well, my sister's actually doing that right now, so let's see. She's trying to do it for a whole year. Yeah, nonstop. So you did a bunch of Hallmark, and then you're like, I'm done with this, and then we got back together on a very random project. I don't even know how to explain that. It was just a very random project.
Yeah,
like, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
It required a lot of like technical and technological creativity, and it just didn't pan out. and then there was the void where we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then we got back to working together in post-production.
Yes, yeah. Then we did post-production, and yes, we did the Age of AI, which was super fun, super cool thing to work on. Yeah, awesome. That was an awesome time.
Yeah. And then we started this.
Yeah.
Live streams.
Yeah, we did this, and then we made Quarantine. So.
Oh yeah, there's also that.
So.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, you know, we gotta get gotta show that on the channel somehow.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. Okay. I'm getting more questions.
Okay.
So let's tackle things.
Yeah, let's do that. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, how's everybody doing? Shoot your questions. I see somebody asking Yafate or Yafate. Totally off subject. Does anybody know if Siri anamorphic lenses will work with the 6K Blackmagic Pocket? It will not. There's your answer. There you go. If you're getting mixed information, the person who are saying yes are wrong. There's no other arguments. Just wrong. Okay, so Legend Tree Media is asking if any of the narrative movies are available to watch. There's a playlist called Production and Such in the channel where you can find some of it. I think. Oh
yeah, we did White Noise together as well. That was somewhere 2018.
2018, and then 2 years of post production. It was also shot on the Iskarama. I'm coming to terms with just like putting it on the channel now, because we tried to send it to festivals. It didn't get much anywhere. It was tiny budget. It was fun.
Yeah, I thought it already was on the channel, or maybe I've just seen it through your account.
Yeah, you're seeing it through the moderator account.
Yeah.
So Legend Tree Media, I'm gonna post a link in the comments of this afterwards. It's kind of hard. We have too many keyboards going on, but there is some stuff on the channel. And Christian saying EFM for the Surrey, and yeah, EFM is the mirrorless version of Canon mount. They just made a poor choice there. It does not work with EF. It has nothing to do with EF except it's Canon. Okay, so that's yeah. Okay, so we are done with Surrey. Okay, so yeah, this is it. This is everybody was talking about Surrey, and this is the end of the film.
Yeah, I wanted to point out this thing. I don't know if it's just like there's right where their faces were on the last day. I don't know if it wasn't there before, but then when I got it, because I know we shot this later. Is that there's like this point of like very low contrast, like a scratch right where their faces are, and I remember this was bothering me the whole day. Yeah, and I don't know if it's the taking lens or if it's the scope.
It could have been both. I think it was the scope, because that Iskram I rehoused. It was probably my first Isco. And it was not in great shape to begin with. Like, there was a lot of work done to this lens, repolishing, recoating, but it was still like it still showed a loss of contrast, especially in high key situations. So you had the sky above you somehow at this location, and that tends to induce that, like they're on the top center of the frame.
Yeah.
It's not misaligned on this one. Like, the door looks pretty straight.
No,
there.
I think this one we figured it out because we shot this one later. And I think at this point, like, there was just less stress because we didn't have a full day's shoot to deal with either on this. So yeah, it wasn't as stressful. And
you can see a little bit of curvature at the window there on the right side.
Yeah,
which is fun.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I was bummed out about that. I was like, is there something like on the screen or something?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Oi, Cam is saying that he would love to see some more of the student film breakdowns. We can do lots of film breakdowns, I guess.
Yeah, you can talk about.
We can talk about pretty much all of the films because we work together in so many of them.
Yeah.
All the stuff that's on YouTube, we can do it. Okay, we'll figure out a format and do this. This is
sounds good.
Get more reference from the Wandering DP and figure out how to write on the screen, add more screens, more keyboards, and just an easier setup all around.
Yeah, definitely. Sync the audio for the people complaining.
Yeah, we'll sync the audio. Also, question: have you guys ever thought about doing viewer critiques on their own anamorphic films? That would be so cool. That'd be pretty cool if people sent stuff in to be analyzed.
That would be super awesome.
That'd be super awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
So if you have stuff and if you're a member of the channel, shoot links on Discord and say, hey, I would love to see you guys discuss this on the channel, and we can bring it up. We are running 20 minutes after, which I think compensates for our late start, and I think this is it. If you have any last minute questions, shoot them now. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping up here. You can see my face is overstretched there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I look healthier there.
Does my face look overstretched?
Not as much.
I guess it is.
The 50 is relatively closer in that aspect. Nobody's saying hello from Shanghai, which I find it funny because their name is Nobody. Okay, well, this was interesting, and yeah, I think this is it. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had fun. We definitely had a blast on this improvised live stream. We're getting a lot of improvisation recently with the animation one. This one hopefully will not get pulled down because our producers won't be like, hey, take that movie down right now. And the lenses we're using right now are the Sirui lenses on both cameras. The 150 is on me, the 35 is on Blake, and that's that. Yeah, so I guess that's that. Okay, thank you guys for joining. This is a lot of it. Yeah, here we go.
All right, bye guys, see ya.